What's going on, guys? Thunder L here back. Today we're going to be talking about why the Chargers should trade for Saquon Barkley. Let me just say that there are many risks with this. Well, actually, no, there's not. There's literally no risk. What am I saying? What are the Chargers going to have to give up? A 5th-round pick, a 4th-round pick, a 3rd-round pick? I don't exactly know the details. But you're getting Saquon Barkley. Is he injury prone? That's debatable. For those of you that don't know, Saquon Barkley has dealt with an ACL tear, an MCL strain, and then, of course, he had a low ankle injury that he suffered in Week 5 against the Dallas Cowboys. But getting an ankle injury in this scenario, because it's one thing if you have, like Steph Curry, for example, who has bad ankles, but that ankle injury to Saquon could have happened to anyone. It could have happened to Austin Eckler. I don't know if Saquon is necessarily injury prone. Like, if we're going off of if the Chargers should re-sign this guy and make him a part of the future, yeah, absolutely. That's a completely different story. But a 1-year rental for Saquon, I mean, what is he making right now? It's about $7 million. I think I have it in front of me. Give me a second here, guys. Yeah, he's making $7.2 million. And if you pair that with Austin Eckler, I mean, that's over $14 million for running backs, which is a massive amount. But Austin Eckler is 27 years old. He just had the most touches by far that he's had in his career, especially if we're going off of carries. He's getting goal line work. This man is going to be burnt out, absolutely gassed by the playoffs. And this is just my opinion. I'm not saying this is definitive. I'm just giving you guys my honest opinion on the Chargers from an outside perspective. Am I a Charger fan? Yes. Are they my favorite team? No, I'm a Colts fan. But the Chargers are my second favorite team, and even though they're in the AFC and I should be rooting against them, I'm not going to root against them because I like the team, I like the players, and I think Justin Herbert is a future Hall of Fame quarterback. More coming in that soon, of course. He broke Andrew Luck's record pretty easily for the most yards by a quarterback in the first 2 seasons. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Justin Herbert has a different arm than anyone else that I've ever seen. Mechanics are great. But yeah, I mean, this isn't a Herbert video. We could talk all day about that. But overall, Saquon Barkley, if you bring him in, not only do you have one of the deadliest, actually probably the deadliest 1-2 punch in the history of football. I mean, find me 2 better running backs than Austin Eckler and Saquon Barkley. If Saquon is injury prone and gets hurt or doesn't work out, okay, well, you just gave up a middle of the pack pick for him. And now you don't have to sign him long term. Even if Saquon comes in, stays healthy, and plays like an absolute freak, well, the Chargers, they've got a good team, right? They were just on the outside of the playoffs. They could have made the playoffs if they, of course, just managed the clock a little better. But they were trying to win the game. You play to win. You don't play to tie. So I don't blame them for that at all. The worst case scenario, like literally the worst case scenario, is that Saquon gets injured and he's gone, which is not the end of the world. Because if you're giving up a 1st or a 2nd-round pick, oh, okay, now we have a serious issue here because the Chargers have many holes to fill. But if you give up a 3rd-round pick, even a 3rd might be a stretch. Maybe if you give up a 4th-round pick for Saquon, because then the Giants can just draft the running back in that range. I don't know who would fall there, if like Zeus would fall there or something like that. But there's honestly more upside to this than there's downsides. Because sure, like Saquon's injury prone, he's making $7.2 million. He's going to be 26 in February, which is only, well, it's not quite. I mean, well, Austin Eckler is going to be, what, 28 sometime in the, I don't know when Eckler's birthday is. I think it's like middle of the year. I could be completely wrong in that, but I'm just looking at a team that needs someone next to Eckler. And if you can bring in Saquon Barkley for his price right now, everyone's down in him. Like, there's no one that I know, at least, that's going out there and saying, I need Saquon Barkley on my team, especially for fantasy football, for Dynasty. No, like, he was being traded for some pretty ridiculous offers. Like, he was getting, like, people were lowballing Saquon owners. So why can't the Chargers lowball the Giants right now and bring in Saquon Barkley, who is the best running back prospect that we've seen, we might ever seen, or ever see, pair him with Eckler. And let's say Saquon does stay healthy and he plays really well. Well, for the future, I don't think the Chargers could commit to him. I mean, we'd have to see legit a top 5, top 3 running back for them to do that because they've got Austin Eckler and you can't be paying Saquon on a long-term deal and then having Eckler. It's just, I don't think that's possible. So basically, this is a rental no matter what. But what if the Chargers, they bring in Saquon and then they go out and they improve the offensive line, they improve the front, especially from the defensive tackle standpoint. They bring in another corner. And then, of course, they get some more speed on the outside. All of that is possible. I mean, Telesco, the GM of the Chargers, said that he wants to improve the offense. Like, he doesn't want to take a step back. Well, bringing in Saquon Barkley certainly helps you not take a step back. Of course, you have much more pieces to go. But I definitely would rather bring in Saquon than I would retain Mike Williams. I mean, I'm good on that, bro. Paying $16, $18 million for Mike Williams, dude that drops passes, is injury prone in his own right, inconsistent. Can Mike Williams make play after play down the field? Absolutely, but can he do it consistently? Now, I've been a fan of Mike Williams for years, even before I started this channel. Well before I started this channel. This is a newer channel. But you've got Josh Palmer. You've got Keenan Allen, who has the most receptions since 2018. Everything is good over here in San Diego. So I'm just giving you my opinion. I feel like the Chargers should absolutely pull the trigger on Saquon Barkley. I mean, you've got nothing to lose. Even if this is a 4th or a 5th round pick. It's Saquon Barkley. You're not finding a player like Saquon Barkley in that range. I don't care who it is. And sure, you could draft a player in the 4th round, like Tom Brady was. I'm not saying that there's no one as good as Saquon or will be, but I'm saying like right now, from what we know right now, the players pull up a mock draft and show me a player in the 4th or the 5th round that is as good as Saquon Barkley. I mean, he had that ankle injury, but that doesn't mean he's injury prone. Look at this guy. So Saquon behind a horrible team, horrible coaching, he still went out there and rushed for 3.7 yards per carry. He had 41 receptions on the Giants. Like, what is this man going to do with a pretty good offensive line? The Chargers do have a couple of positions they could upgrade on the right side. Belega coming. I don't even know like what's going on. I got to look more into that. But overall, I'm not trying to hear that the Chargers shouldn't trade for Saquon. I understand. I'm not going to sound like a broken record here, but I get why people say that. But the goal is to win Super Bowls, and sometimes you've got to take chances. And this isn't even that big of a chance. Are you kidding me? A 4th round pick for Saquon Barkley to pair him with Austin Eckler? I mean, guys, remember the Saints when they had Kamara and Ingram? Why can't the Chargers try to replicate that? It's obviously a much better talent perspective. Let me see. So, of course, Keenan Allen did put the eyeball emoji on could Saquon be on the move, Sports Illustrated. Yeah, I mean, the Giants definitely do not want to sign Saquon to a new big deal after this season. And they could definitely try to move him now to get capital. And as I mentioned, is get a running back. I mean, yeah, I want to see this happen, being real with you. The cost is at an all-time low right now as well. So I'll leave it at that, man. It's your boy, Thunder Alley, signing out. Have a good one. Peace.